eating leftover potatoes can actually be dangerous for you. Follow me, because by the end of this video, you'll wonder how you spent all this time without knowing this important information. Potatoes. They're comforting, versatile, and practically a universal favorite. Mashed, fried, roasted, or baked, they're a staple on tables worldwide. But what if I told you that your innocent leftover potatoes could be a ticking time bomb for your health? Yes, those cold, reheated spuds sitting in your fridge could turn into something far more sinister than a late-night snack. Stick with me, because this might just save you a stomachache or worse. Here's the science. Potatoes are rich in starch, which makes them delicious but also dangerous when handled improperly. When cooked potatoes are left at room temperature for too long, they create the perfect breeding ground for harmful bacteria like Clostridium botulinum. This nasty bacteria can cause botulism, a rare but potentially life-threatening illness. It thrives in low-oxygen environments like inside an aluminum foil wrap or an airtight container. Once it starts growing, no amount of reheating will destroy its toxins. Scary, right? And it gets worse. Even if botulism isn't in the picture, potatoes can still pose risks. Improperly stored leftovers can develop other bacteria like Listeria and Salmonella, which love moist, starchy foods. According to a food safety study, over 60% of people unknowingly store their cooked potatoes incorrectly, dramatically increasing the risk of foodborne illness. So, what should you do to stay safe? First, cool your potatoes quickly after cooking. Letting them sit on the counter for hours is a big no-no. Instead, transfer them to a shallow container and refrigerate them within 2 hours of cooking. The quicker you cool them, the less chance bacteria have to multiply. Another crucial tip: don't leave leftover potatoes in aluminum foil. While it might seem convenient, the foil traps heat and moisture, creating the perfect environment for bacterial growth. Instead, use a breathable container and refrigerate immediately. Reheating is also key. When enjoying leftover potatoes, ensure they're heated to at least 165 F. This temperature helps kill most bacteria that may have developed during storage. But remember, reheating won't eliminate toxins produced by botulism, so proper storage is the real hero here. Now, let's tackle a common myth. Can you freeze potatoes? The answer is yes, but with caution. Freezing potatoes can alter their texture, especially if they're already cooked. If you decide to freeze them, ensure they're stored in an airtight container to prevent freezer burn and bacterial contamination. Think twice about leaving potato salads or mashed potatoes out at parties. Mayonnaise and dairy-based ingredients in potato dishes can spoil quickly when left at room temperature. Keep them on ice or refrigerated until it's time to serve. Here's a real-life example that might shock you. In 2015, a family in Belgium fell seriously ill after eating reheated potato salad left out overnight. The dish had developed Bacillus cereus, another harmful bacteria commonly found in improperly stored starchy foods. This tragic incident is a stark reminder of how seemingly harmless leftovers can turn dangerous. Potatoes are amazing, but they demand respect. Treat them right by storing and reheating them properly, and you'll enjoy their goodness without any risks. And hey, If this blew your mind, hit that like button and share this video with friends. They need to know too. Watch the video until the end, because by the time it's over, you'll wonder how you've spent all this time without knowing these important tips. Store potatoes promptly. After cooking, refrigerate your potatoes within 2 hours to prevent bacteria growth. Leaving them out too long at room temperature can create the perfect environment for harmful bacteria like Clostridium botulinum. Use airtight containers. Store leftover potatoes in sealed airtight containers to reduce exposure to air and bacteria. This helps maintain freshness and safety. Avoid aluminum foil storage. While foil is handy for cooking, wrapping potatoes tightly in it can trap moisture and create a low oxygen environment ideal for bacteria growth. Don't leave them at room temperature. Cooked potatoes left out overnight or for extended periods at room temperature are unsafe to eat and should be discarded. Refrigerate mashed potatoes properly. Mashed potatoes with cream, butter, or milk can spoil faster due to the dairy content. Store them promptly in the refrigerator. Check for signs of spoilage. Always inspect leftover potatoes before reheating. If they have a sour smell, slimy texture, or unusual discoloration, throw them away. Reheat evenly. Ensure that leftover potatoes reach an internal temperature of at least 165 F 74 C when reheated to kill any bacteria that may have formed during storage. Don't reheat multiple times. Reheating potatoes more than once can increase the risk of contamination. Only reheat the portion you plan to eat. Avoid eating cold potatoes, even if they look and smell fine. Eating cold leftover potatoes straight from the fridge can increase the risk of consuming harmful bacteria. Freeze for long-term storage. If you don't plan to eat your leftovers within 3 days, consider freezing them. Frozen potatoes can be stored safely for up to a month. Label storage dates. Keep track of when you stored your potatoes by labeling the container. This helps you avoid eating leftovers that have been stored for too long. Don't mix cooked potatoes with raw ingredients. Combining cooked potatoes with raw foods like uncooked vegetables can lead to cross-contamination. Reheat in small portions. Smaller portions heat more evenly and thoroughly, reducing the risk of cold spots that can harbor bacteria. Boil or steam for extra safety. Reheating leftover potatoes by boiling or steaming can help kill surface bacteria more effectively than microwaving alone. Store baked potatoes carefully. Baked potatoes, especially those with the skin intact, can trap moisture and bacteria. Refrigerate them without foil and in a sealed container. Discard discolored potatoes. Potatoes with gray, green, or dark spots may contain toxins or indicate spoilage. It's safer to toss them out. Don't store potatoes near heat sources. Keep leftover potatoes away from stoves, ovens, or other heat sources that could warm them up and encourage bacterial growth. Keep utensils clean. When serving or reheating leftovers, always use clean utensils to prevent introducing new bacteria. Avoid reheating in plastic containers. Reheating potatoes in certain plastic containers can cause harmful chemicals to leach into your food. Use microwave-safe glass or ceramic containers instead. Consume within 3 days for the safest experience. Eat your leftover potatoes within 3 days of cooking to minimize the risk of spoilage or contamination. Why it matters. Potatoes are rich in starch, which makes them an ideal breeding ground for bacteria when not stored correctly. Bacteria, like Clostridium botulinum, can produce toxins that are not destroyed by reheating. Even if the potatoes look and smell fine, consuming improperly, stored leftovers can lead to food poisoning or more severe health issues. Safe habits make all the difference. Following these 20 tips ensures that your leftover potatoes remain safe to eat, while also preserving their flavor and texture. Always prioritize proper storage and reheating methods to protect yourself and your family. Potatoes are a versatile and delicious ingredient, but they need careful handling to avoid potential risks. Remember, it's always better to be cautious when dealing with leftovers. Your health is worth it.